Hello, hello. All right, we have a new game out today, Flight Simulator 2020, which I think is super cool. And I haven't played a flight simulator in 20 years. I mean, I think the last time I played, I was in middle school around the year 2000. So I'm really excited about this. And I did do a couple of test flights just to make sure I could still do it, and this game is kind of challenging to get used to. So, hey everyone. What's up, AJ? Chaos? Oil Holland? Yeah, thanks for chatting. What's up, Sarah? All right, so brand new game. Today's the first day that this was released, so I'm gonna show it off a little bit. The graphics, how it plays, what it looks like. You're gonna get to see all the glitches and the bugs, and me probably crashing the plane, trying to learn how to play this game. But I think I'm gonna try out 3 different places in this stream. The first, I think, a lot of people have been to, or at least know what it looks like, is New York. So I'm going to start out in New York and fly around the city and see what that looks like. Then the second place I want to go, because I'm Nittany Lion Roar, is I want to see if I can take the airplane to where Penn State is, since I know that area well, and fly around there and see what that looks like and how realistic that is, because that is kind of like off the map a little bit as far as super well-traveled places. So it'll be interesting to see what the graphics are like for that place. And then lastly, I was thinking Washington, D.C., and then maybe a bonus Outer Banks. So these are all places that are important to me that I think I'd like to check out. So I heard there was a glitch with Washington, D.C., and the Washington Monument, so we're gonna check out to see if that's true. Checking the chat too. How's the sound? Right now it's just a little bit of background music and things. You know, when I fire up the plane, it'll get a little louder, so I just want to make sure that I'm not overpowering things. Let me know if I need to adjust the sound at all. What's up, Ozzy? Mr. Sailor. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing, there's a couple things up front about this game that I've already picked up on. First of all, I'll say it's a beautiful game, but second of all, just a couple things to be aware of if you do get this game. I have a gaming keyboard which does not have a number pad on it, and that was a problem because you need the number pad. That's where a lot of the controls are. I'm gonna go back here and show you the main screen. The second thing is I'm noticing that the load times in this are long, and it probably has to do a bit with the graphics, which are amazing. But secondly, this is a very internet-based game. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. I do have really fast internet, and I do have a really fast computer. So I am not positive what is causing the load time, but I have a system and a setup that should allow for really smooth gameplay. So the fact that it's taking a while to load, I kind of wonder about that a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to do the world map like free flying just to show you the game. So that's kind of what I was in here. Let's start out in New York. We'll go to Kennedy and we'll set that as the departure. And I don't know if I need to set an arrival airport, but let's go to Miami. Okay, an interesting thing about this game too, I was kind of messing with the let's see, the flight conditions, weather and time. So right now it's like it automatically sets it for you, but I kind of messed with it a little bit. So what this looks like then is this is what actual time looks like and light conditions around the world. So you can see that it's dark Of course, that would be no fun to fly in the dark right now because it would just be a black screen. So that's why I had set it to a lighter time. Let's take off in the late afternoon, maybe like 4:30 p.m. or so. Okay, that looks good. All right. Now, I apologize if I miss anything in the chat. I have to have a little bit different of a setup here. So far, my streaming software, which detects most games, doesn't detect this game, so I had to set this up a little bit differently. And so I can't see the chat on my screen like I usually do, so I have a second computer set up to look at the chat. You can already see, even by the loading screen, how amazing the graphics look. I mean, all the individual little trees, the rivers and the streams, the reflections on the airplane, the sky. And I'm not putting the settings on full auto blast right now just because I'm streaming, I've got video going and stuff like that. But I can tell you, when you put this game on ultra, it's pretty good. Now, just in case you don't know about Flight Simulator yet, some of the things they've done that are really cool are they made it satellite based. This is why it's so internet based, because what it's doing is picking up satellite images of the entire Earth and creating computer graphics out of that. And it's also bringing in data about like weather conditions, live, real weather conditions, and real flights, real other flights. So if you see an airplane in the sky and you pass it, it's very likely a real flight at that very exact spot and moment in time in real life, which I think is kind of cool. All right, so here we are. I'm going to show takeoff in the cockpit, but of course we're going to be flying around New York, so I'm going to give it a different view so it looks better. This is what you need the num pad for, because you can see I need to press Control num delete to take off the brake, and then increase the throttle with F3. One thing that I totally didn't remember from playing Flight Simulator before was how, unlike a lot of video games, the controls don't react immediately to what you're doing. So with the little bit of delay, it causes with a little bit of delay, it means that you can like kind of overreact to the controls. Okay, close the landing gear. Like you can turn too hard to the right or too hard to the left. Press F5. Okay. Okay, so I'm going too fast. Alright, now I'm going to change the visual. Again, tell me if this gets too loud for you. This is a very, very hard view to fly in. So I apologize if I do some crashing right off the bat, but now one thing I can tell you right now is really realistic and cool about this plane is it is not smooth. Like if you've been in a plane, you know it kind of shakes and rumbles around, and that causes the plane to kind of take a different direction than you're trying to go. And so you got to be careful about that, because all of a sudden the plane takes on a life of its own and it's headed towards the ground, or it's headed straight up into the sky or whatever. So as I'm flying here, and I'm still going too fast, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. So as I'm doing this, I'm constantly pressing on the pitch and the roll and things like that. I'm gonna turn the throttle back up just a tad. Okay, so this is New York City right now. You can see we're flying over some neighborhoods right now. This is probably Brooklyn, right? I mean, we're headed towards the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, what I do like about this view is you can see all the controls there. You can see the fuel meter, how fast I'm going, the altitude. Some things I still have to learn. There's a lot of controls. If you've taken a look at the controls for this, it's more than just like turn left, turn right, up, down, stuff like that. You can adjust all these like individual little panels and flaps and fans and tons of things like that. Okay, so we're going to be flying over Manhattan here in just a moment. And I'd like to get down pretty close. So that we can take a look at the Freedom Tower and the Statue of Liberty. I'm gonna turn down the speed just a little bit. I'm actually really impressed with myself in this flight so far, because I'm actually doing pretty well with this flight. I can tell you the very first time I took off right before I went live just to practice a little bit, I got up into the air for a moment and then straight up crashed right into the airport. So look at that, there's like boats in the water. That's really cool. I do like that this game helps you a little bit by giving you hints and telling you kind of like what you should be pushing on right now. I'm sure enthusiasts, there's the Statue of Liberty. Alright, we're gonna try and fly back now. And this is where the challenge lies, because yep, see, I overdid it. Okay. It's super sensitive. So I gotta get control again and then just kind of like carefully turn. There we go. That's a little better. Alright, look at these graphics. And the vehicles on the highway and everything. That is really cool. That is awesome. Okay, I'm throttling up just a little bit because it doesn't feel like I have enough airspeed to keep control here, so there we go. I'll turn it back down just a tad. So I don't know if anyone on the chat here is from New York. I'd be curious to know what you think about this. Okay, so we're gonna fly by Manhattan again, and then we're gonna go up to like the Empire State Building. What do you guys think about these graphics? The graphics are really impressing me. So what the satellite is doing is reading pictures and then creating buildings out of them. It's using like an artificial intelligence to actually create buildings. But I can already see some like graphical errors. Like like some of the buildings look ultra dirty or weird. But for the most part, this looks pretty good. You know, I imagine as time goes on, they're gonna update things. Yeah, the Freedom Tower has some weird, like, graphical glitches on it, it looks like, but, yeah, you can see, like, there are reflections imprinted on some of the towers as if it were, like, painted on. I imagine they'll fix some of that stuff up as time goes on with updates. Maybe they'll, like, work on some of the buildings and things. Alright, let's go see the Empire State Building. What's really amazing about this is, like, yeah, these are satellite pictures of the buildings that have been turned into 3D, and, like, it is really three-dimensional. I'm actually very impressed. And I think it took pictures of, like, the trees and stuff and actually turned it into trees. Alright, so we're going up towards the Empire State Building right now. I need to turn up the speed a little bit. I'm having a difficult time controlling the aircraft at the moment. There we go. That's cool. And you can see reflections shining off the building, which is really, really nice. Okay, there's MetLife. I don't know exactly where the stadiums are around here. I'm not super familiar with New York. I'd fly by a stadium if I knew where it was. I think for our next flight, I'm going to change the... Uh-oh, I'm stalling. There we go. Uh-oh. Don't stall, don't stall, don't stall. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can save the aircraft. First challenge, first challenge. First challenge. Super sensitive. Oh, did I do it? Did I do it? Nope, not quite. Man, getting out of this stall is tough. Okay, turn down, turn down. Okay, I learned how to get out of stalls back in, like, middle school. I'm having such a tough time with it. There we go. So, when I was in middle school, we had a airplane class, and part of the training was the teacher would put you, and I'm not talking about real life, I'm talking about, like, using a flight simulator, but the teacher would put you into a stall on purpose, and then you'd have to try and get out of it. Well, it looks like I did it. Okay, so I got out of the stall. Fantastic. And, you know, I think when you're stalling, what you're supposed to do, I'm just guessing, I'm trying to remember from 20 years ago. It looks like I did it right, but you're supposed to turn down the throttle until you can kind of get control, but then you have to, like, turn it back up right away. So there we go. Okay. Alright, so this was a good tour of New York. Why don't we go check out another area? why don't we check out... I'd like to check out where Penn State is since I'm Nittany Lion Roar. Let's see what the chat was saying. I was really concentrating on that. Yeah, it is hard not to overcorrect, and that's exactly what I was doing there a lot. I was trying to, you know, get it back to the left, and then it went way hard left, or back to the right, and it went way hard right. So next, since I'm Nittany Lion Roar, we're gonna go check out where Penn State is. Back to the world map. Now, what's really interesting is I just left that map and came back to the main menu, and that last time I did that, it took a solid 5 to 7 minutes in that range to like load this screen again. So that went a lot quicker. I'm not sure what the difference in load times is and like why it's doing that. Now, here's the thing about Penn State. I have to guess where it is because it's not on the map. So I'm just gonna fly from there. I think that's where it's at. Knowing the geography of the area, I'm looking for Mount Nittany, where my name, Nittany Lion Roar, comes from. So there's a mountain there called Mount Nittany. Nittany is a Native American word. It was the name of a Native American princess in that area. So mountain lions, you know, up until the late 1800s, early 1900s, roamed the mountain, and that's where you get the term Nittany Lion. And in fact, there's a story about how Penn State became the Nittany Lions. They were calling themselves the Lions back in like the 1800s, and one of the first football games they ever had was against the Columbia Lions. And so whenever they got to where they were going to play this game, people were talking about the Columbia Lions. And so the people from Penn State said, oh wait, but you haven't seen nothing yet. You haven't seen the Nittany Lions. And they were referring back to the mountain lions of central Pennsylvania. So that's where we're going right now, to look at Mount Nittany and Penn State. Hopefully I picked the right area. The thing is too, like, even though I picked this spot, I have no idea if it knows, like if it actually took me to the exact spot that I picked. You know what I mean? Like it might have just dropped me in like a similar area. I should have picked a different plane. We've already seen this plane. There are different planes. Alright, so there's Huntington County. That is near Penn State, so... Whoa, whoa, whoa. The wind is like throwing me around. I'm looking for Mount Nittany. I think it's probably behind me. Whoa. plane is really hard to control right now. Now this is a little private plane. And they have like a big Boeing you can fly too. I actually think, whoops. I actually think Penn State is probably up here a ways. This might be, like, I'm not sure, but it might be Raystown Lake. What's up, Jason? How you doing? I'm playing a little flight simulator right now. I will tell you what, this plane is really hard to control right now. I wonder if it's like windy in central Pennsylvania. Let me pause for just a minute because I want to see where Hilling is. Okay, I know where I'm at. I was right. I am flying in the correct direction for Penn State, but I'm a little bit a ways from that, so hopefully I can keep the plane flying okay until then. Actually, I think I want to get it a little closer, so let me go back to the main menu. And then I want to pick a different plane too. So I didn't realize just how far away everything is, like how long it takes the plane to get somewhere. So I kind of underestimated. It probably would have taken us like 15 minutes or so to get there, and so I didn't want to do that. Plus, I want you to check out a different plane. All right, chat, which plane should I choose? I don't want to do the big Boeing yet. I want to do one of the little private ones, but here's the planes that we've got going on. We got a Cub Crafter. The Dare was what we were flying. Diamond. Oh my gosh, look at that icon, A5. What the heck? These are cool. I don't know how hard they are to control. Ooh, I like this. I'm gonna go with this one. All right. So I'm gonna try this again. I think that I can get closer to Penn State right here. Alright, so I just told the story about how Penn State became the Nittany Lions. We're going to check out Penn State. And I'm going to fly over a bunch of areas that are familiar to me, hopefully. If, again, it kind of depends on if I pick the right place in the world. Whoa, this is like a trick plane or something. I know Penn's Cave. I know Penn's Cave really well. It also means that I'm kind of in the right area, but not exactly. I think I need to go back a little bit. Wow, man, it really picks out like some strange landmarks. Okay, so this plane is even more sensitive than the one I was flying, but it actually sort of feels easier to control. So after our little tour of Penn State here, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I would be remiss if I didn't try some tricks here eventually too, but we're gonna... I don't know if you can see this, but there's little cars on the road. And I believe I'm flying over the Grange Fair right now. If any of you know, if any of you are from Penn State or that area and know what the Grange Fair is, that's like it's like a big outdoor carnival type of thing, but people camp at it. Wow, this is cool. There's a little hotel inn on the top of that mountain there that has burned down a few times. The place is like haunted. It's like every time they try and rebuild it, it burns down again. So I believe I'm over Mount Nittany right now. I don't know if the entire stretch of the mountain is called Mount Nittany or if it changes at any point, but this is Mount Nittany I'm headed towards right now. It's over here on the right. So I'm going to fly down towards the ground a little bit. Because I want to see places that I know. There's a stretch of road over here on the left that I have driven my whole life. It's Route 322. The middle school I went to is off to the left. I like this plane a lot. It's actually a little bit easier than the other plane. Alright, so we are flying over my middle school, Mount Nittany Middle School. That is where I first learned to play Flight Simulator, actually, in Tech Ed. Wow, the graphics on this are unbelievable. Okay, so I'm flying around Mount Nittany now. This is Mount Nittany. I've had friends live in the neighborhood that I'm flying over at this moment, and I just can't believe how incredible these graphics are. I'm gonna fly to a mall called the Nittany Mall, and this mall is like dying, like all the stores are leaving. I want to see how realistic the mall looks. It's a very, very small mall. You wouldn't even recognize like it as a mall probably if I didn't point it out, but that is what I'm flying over right now. That's the Nittany Mall. Okay. Let's go back to Penn State. So, of course I'm going to try to fly by the football stadium and see if their maps did any justice to that at all. You know, for the most part, this is a real feat of computer graphics. I mean, they've mapped out the entire world. Alright, so the stadium, I can already tell, does not look like what I expect it to look like. Oh my gosh, the stadium is so weird looking. That is not what that stadium is supposed to look like. Oh my gosh. So, what the artificial intelligence does is it tries to look at pictures of buildings. This is Penn State, by the way. This is the Arboretum I'm flying over right now. But it tries to take pictures of buildings and turn them into 3D objects. And as you can see, there's Old Main. I'm flying over Old Main. But as you can see, for the most part, it does a really good job. Whoa! Trick time! I think I just lost this plane. Oh, okay. Well, we'll go check out Washington, D.C. So there was the first crash. Wow. That flight was like so smooth until I don't know what happened. It's like it took like it was going smooth and then all of a sudden it was like I got hit with like a little wind or something and it just started spinning. And I did not expect that to happen, so that's interesting. Alright, let's go back to the main menu. We did our tour of Penn State. We saw all the important places. The stadium looked super weird. Old Main looked good. We saw my middle school. So that was cool. Alright, let's go back to the world map. Let's pick an even different plane. We're going to check out different planes here. This is weird, and this might be a bad choice for this. Cruise speed 85. What is this? Well, it's worth trying. If it's terrible, we can always come back here and select a different airplane and try it again. All right, so we're gonna do Washington D.C. Let's see, we got Richmond. Let's zoom in a little bit. Reagan is where I want to go. Sarah, yeah. But it's not Flight Simulator until you crash the plane, right? Like you gotta see what happens when you crash the plane. I think they probably did a tasteful job with that it kind of just like fades out. No fiery explosions or anything like that. I don't think they want people playing this game just to crash planes into things. I will tell you, this feels very realistic. There's definitely turbulence, and whenever the turbulence hits me, it's kind of like jarring. There's definitely the feel of like wind causing the plane to go in different directions than I'm intending it to go, and I have to kind of correct it a little bit. Um, I've now played with two different planes. The first plane was like a more traditional private jet, not jet. It's more like a private plane, and it was a little hard to control, but it wasn't quite as sensitive. But that last plane I flew was a lot smoother, and I thought easier to control until it was a lot more sensitive. So until it got out of control, that was a nice flight. I don't know what kind of plane this is. I've never seen this before. Is it a little tour plane or something? I have no idea, but we're gonna try this out. Okay, Reagan. So we're gonna check out the Washington Monument because I heard the Washington Monument is messed up right now. All right, here we go. I have no idea how this flight's gonna go. This thing is dinky. Okay, let's go see the Washington Monument. I heard a rumor today. It is not what it's supposed to be. Like the artificial intelligence turned it into something else. And I can actually already see from here. Okay, I just put the brakes on, or put the brakes up. I can already see from here the Washington Monument is not correct. Do you guys see it yet? I think this is a little tour plane. It's very small, very dinky, it doesn't go very fast. I've got the throttle almost all the way up and it's so look at the traffic down there, that's kind of cool. I thought they did a really nice job with traffic graphics. Alright. Here is what the Washington Monument... This is where it's supposed to be. Do you see what it is? What the heck is that? That is not the Washington Monument. Oh my gosh. Did they at least get the Lincoln Memorial right? Whoop, 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 whoop. That was my fault. Whoop. This plane is actually quite hard to control. I'm going to try and turn down the speed a little bit. I think I'm going to stall again. There we go. The Washington Monument actually looks okay. Or not the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. And then there's Watergate and the Kennedy Center. Alright, so you guys, if you get this game, it is a challenge. I will tell you what. This is not like you just get in a plane and go. There's the Pentagon, as you can see. There are little... the Washington Monument again. Let's go to the Capitol. There are little, like, nuances to this that make it a real challenge. Like, for example, little bursts of wind, or, you know, like all of a sudden the plane starts going towards the ground for no reason. Stuff like that. Okay, so we are in Washington, D.C. There's one of the main highways there on the right. I'm flying towards the Capitol building. I want to see if it looks like the Capitol. So it looks like Microsoft Simulator has some work to do making some of the... Oh, I did not crash. Alright, overstressed the aircraft. Okay, let's go check out the Capitol again. How did I overstress the aircraft? Was it going too fast? It didn't seem like I was going fast at all. But did you see the Capitol? That did not look like the U.S. Capitol at all. So they may need to go in and tweak some of the buildings that are like tourist spots and really stand out. Like the Lincoln Memorial looked pretty good. The Washington Monument was like a weird little skinny skyscraper. And the Capitol looked like a regular old office building. Okay, I'm gonna try not to fly the plane as fast this time. I think that was probably the problem with the last one. Thank you, Malix. And give your... thank you, Give. Okay, here we go again. Now, I'm going to go much slower this time. I'm going to turn the throttle down quite a bit. I think this is like a little tour plane anyway. Alright, we're going to go back towards the Capitol. And then, I wonder what the White House looks like. If anybody can figure out why it thinks I stressed the plane too much last time, let me know. Because I have no idea. I was flying it pretty calmly, pretty straight. I mean, I had just lost control for a moment, but I got it back. Okay. So the Capitol's going to be over here on the right, just to the right of the plane. Do you see that? It's kind of got like a green roof, which is not what it actually has in real life. So I can't figure out why the Capitol looks like that. Do you see that? It's so weird. Okay, let's I'm not going to be able to pinpoint the White House as well. But we'll try to fly around and see if we can spot it. I think it's supposed to be... Ah, yeah, there's where it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be just underneath the plane. You see right under the left wing? And that does not look like the White House. Like it's the right shape, but it's like... Again, it looks kind of like an office building. Alright. So I'm flying towards Arlington now. And you can see the Lincoln Memorial on the left actually looks okay. That's not too bad. I mean, it's not exactly right, but it's not too bad. So again, right here we have Watergate, and we have the Kennedy Center. On the right is Georgetown. Yeah, Sarah, it does. Yes, everything I just did with this plane, you are not supposed to do in real life, so that is for sure. Alright, so this is Arlington. I'm gonna fly towards Fairfax now. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alexandria is down there on the left. And these are the suburbs of DC. So I think this is a little tour plane. It's gotta be. It doesn't go very fast. I even had it going as fast as it could. It wasn't going fast, and then it was like, the plane is overstressed. So, Sudzi, how long did it take to download? This game is really interesting as far as like downloading and installing. It didn't work like a typical game. It wasn't just like one download and install. It downloaded a very, very, very small file, and then I installed it, and then it said the game was ready to play. So I clicked play, but then it said it needed to install like oh, look at that little football field down there on the left. I think that's, if I had to guess, I'm not positive, but I think that's Marshall High School. Anyway, if I had so once I downloaded the little file and installed it, it said it was ready to play. I opened it up. It needed to download more packages. It needed to download 91 gigabytes of packages, and that took, I don't know, like an hour. But you have to understand, part of it is I have a really, really, really good computer, and if you have like a mid-level gaming computer, it would probably take, and it depends on your internet speed too. So my internet speed and my computer are about as good as it gets right now, and that's how I'm able to like play this and stream for you guys. But if you have like a mid-level system, it's going to take you a lot longer. A lot longer. Look at all these townhouses. Yeah, so it really just depends on your system. Okay, so now at this point we have toured New York City. We have toured Penn State. We are finishing up Washington, D.C. right now, flying around the suburbs. Let's go up a little bit and look at it from a higher altitude, and then we're gonna try to go to the Outer Banks. Kitty Hawk, where the first flight happened. Is this 395? I think this road might be 395. I might be overstressing the plane again. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but oh man, I'm really having to like mess with the throttle and stuff right now because the speed, look at the speed jump around. It keeps going from like really fast to really slow to... Okay, there we go. Got control again. I want to see something back this way, so... So one thing I'm learning is, like, the speed can change a lot in the air depending on the air resistance and things like that. And so you got to be really careful and watch the speed if it gets too high. That's probably what stressed the plane the last time. I want to go up a little higher. I want to see what things look like when you get pretty high. So this plane apparently can only go up to like 15,000 feet or something like that. Oh, stalled. Okay, let's go check out the Outer Banks. Alright, back to the main menu. Alright, so the Outer Banks is where Kitty Hawk is. For those of you, a lot of you probably know from history class, but just in case you haven't learned it or you're somewhere around the world, flight was invented in Kitty Hawk by the Wright brothers. And so it feels like on the first day that Flight Simulator was released, we should probably go there and check it out. I believe Kitty Hawk's right around here. Let's see, hold on. North Carolina. I would think Kitty Hawk is like right here. And I would think it would show up, but it's not for some reason. Because I think they even advertise like you fly out of Kitty Hawk. But whatever. Let's start here in the middle of the Outer Banks. Let's change the plane. Let's do this yellow plane. This might be really hard to control. I have no idea. But this looks like a... Well, actually, let's fly the oldest looking plane that they have here. This one. There we go. If we're gonna fly around Kitty Hawk, that makes the most sense. Oh, so you asking me that? Man, the COVID quarantine was like the best thing ever for building a new gaming computer and learning to stream and stuff like that. I have to do a lot of online stuff for my job, so it just made sense to upgrade everything here since I'm spending a lot of time with it anyway. Okay, that is hard to look at. There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna crash this immediately. What the heck? This is a hard plane to fly. Okay. This is the Outer Banks. But let me pause it because I need to... I don't know the Outer Banks super well. I know it somewhat, but... Pine Island? I'm not exactly sure. That doesn't ring any bells with me. So I'm looking at a map. Nope. Nope. Okay. Pine Island Airport. Yeah, okay. So I need to turn around and go south to Kitty Hawk, where the first flights happened. If I can control this plane. Oh my gosh. I barely even touch it and it just like starts like really turning hard. Okay, so here we are at the Outer Banks. I'll show you where Kitty Hawk is when we get there. Once I see it, I'll recognize it. Oh my gosh, I might not even make it. This is like a super difficult plane to fly. Oh my god, what the heck is that? Guys, this plane. Let's see if I can get to Kitty Hawk here. Yeah, just like the Wright brothers. How long was that first flight? It was like a minute or something, right? There's a lot more trees here than I think that there actually is. I mean, I guess there's a lot of trees. Okay, here's one of the piers coming up. I think I just flew over duck, or I'm flying over duck. So that's one of the piers. The pier looks weird, so it's kind of three-dimensional, but then for whatever reason it's going into the water. All right. So I believe that is duck up there on the right. You saw that little gathering of buildings? I think there's like some shops and things there. Has anyone in the chat ever been to the Outer Banks? Now, what I'm really curious about is if the water is actually moving or if it's just still. I think it's just still. It almost looks painted on. So the graphics in this are absolutely incredible. There are some little details that you see in like modern games that are pretty good that aren't in here. Like a lot of modern games have like really realistic water. This one, it just looks like a painting. Okay, so I believe I'm over Kitty Hawk right now, where the first flight happened. There's so many more trees here. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Ugh. There's so many more trees here than I would expect there to be at the Outer Banks. So this should be a really sandy area, not like a really tree-covered area. And this might actually be Kitty Hawk right here where the actual like flight stuff happened. I'm not positive. Let me see. Actually, it might not be. This might be the no, that's never mind. I'm not at Kitty Hawk yet. This is the road into the Outer Banks, like the Route 1 or whatever. Or 12, Route 12, whatever it is. Obviously, I don't know this area as well. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Come on now. Why does it do that? This plane is, like, difficult, man. Oh, there it is. It's telling me where the first flight happened. I don't even have to try and guess. Alright, so for those of you who joined and haven't been on from the beginning, this is my first time playing Flight Simulator in 20 years. So I am not showing you how to be an expert in this game, I'm just showing it off. Showing you the graphics and everything. We are currently in the Outer Banks. We're flying to Kitty Hawk where the first flight happened. I chose the oldest looking plane that they had just because it makes sense. This is a plane that looks a lot like that first plane. This plane that I'm flying though is a lot better than the first airplane. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing about the docks, can you see that? Or not the docks, but the I guess they're docks, whatever you want to call them. Like piers and docks. They don't just stick straight out into the water like they're supposed to. Do you see how they actually go underwater? That's weird. So they're letting artificial intelligence do a lot of the graphics in this. So we already saw the Washington Monument is not the Washington Monument. The artificial intelligence read that as a really tall, skinny skyscraper. The Capitol looked nothing like the Capitol. The White House was the right shape, but not right. The Lincoln Memorial was actually okay. Here is Kitty Hawk. This is where the first flight happened. The Wright brothers took off from here and they flew for like a minute or something like that. And then there's a memorial right here. I'm flying right over the memorial. That actually looks pretty good. That's not too bad. They got that right. Sarah, yeah. Yeah, with sea level rise, all the piers are ending up underwater, huh? Alright, so let's, I haven't tried any tricks yet with the planes. Maybe now's the perfect time to try it. I'm gonna go a little bit further south here, because I just want to see what it's like to fly over the water. But now that we've taken our tour of the different places and checked out the graphics and things, we can kind of stress the planes a bit and see what we can do with that. Like maybe try some barrel rolls, or like purposefully put the plane into a stall and see if I can get out of it. So why don't we do that? Let's go up a little bit and then try a barrel roll. I'm gonna turn the speed up. Okay, ready? Here we go. Barrel roll. Okay. It really wanted to roll, didn't it? Okay, yeah, so I don't think I'm recovering from that one. Ooh. Oh my gosh. So how do you successfully do a barrel roll? I'll try it again. This time, I think I have to, as soon as I hit it, I have to like immediately try and turn the plane back the other way. Let's try it again. All right. Oh, nope. Too soon. Okay. Let's get straight again. All right, try it again. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to learn how to do a barrel roll, because that is not a barrel roll. Oh my gosh. Maybe this plane doesn't do tricks, I have no idea. Okay. One more barrel roll. Up, almost had it. Now I'm going the other way. Come on. I'm getting a little closer. Oh man. All right, one more time. That is super hard. I did it! I did it! I did it! Yes! Oh, I did it! All right. Excellent. Okay. Fantastic. Now, we want to do a stall on purpose. So we want to go straight up in the air. Then the speed's gonna cut down and the plane's gonna start heading straight to the ground. And what I've got to do is try to pull out of that. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay, turn down the... I don't think I'm going to recover from that. Okay. I'm actually like too close to the ground, I think, to recover from the stall. I'll try it again with this plane. I have to get up much higher, I think, before I do the stall. But actually that plane wanted to do just like a... Well, let's actually do that. Let's do the, let's do a flip. And see if I can recover from a flip. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. There we go. Oh, gosh. What just happened? I was fine. Well, I'm going to count that as a success. I don't know why I had recovered and then all of a sudden it just dove again, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to this time just try a regular stall, not like a backflip. So to do regular stall, I've just got to go up until the plane can't handle it, and then it starts to nosedive, and then you try to get out of it. Okay, this is the stall. So the plane can't handle that anymore. So it starts to nosedive towards the ground. You turn down the throttle. And then that's it. Actually, I think I still have the throttle too high. That was good. I wonder if I can do a more severe... That was actually a really good recovery from a stall. So I'm going to try a more challenging stall then, I think. Let's turn the throttle up a ton. And then, whoops. I gotta be flying smooth before I try this. And it does help to be a little higher in the air. Okay, so I'm smooth again. Let's go into a more severe stall. Oops. I don't know why the plane just started going. I gotta get it straight again. There we go. Okay. Alright. Stall. This plane actually recovers from stalls really easily, so that's not too bad. Let's try a different plane, and then I'll hang it up. So we're gonna try a different plane, do a couple of those tricks with a different plane, and then I'm going to call it a night. Where's a cool place to go? So we've now been at the Outer Banks. Let's go to LA, maybe? I think LA would be good. Okay, let's pick, there was like a fancy looking plane up here. Let's try that. I don't know if you can do tricks with it. That actually does not look like a tricksy kind of plane. Here's some of the other planes, just in case you didn't get to see it. This might be a tricksy kind of plane. I have no idea. And actually, we've already done some of the low-flying planes, so maybe I do want to do this like bigger. Let's do the plane that's a little bit bigger. Just, I don't think I'll be able to do tricks with it, but I'll try. This is better for trying to recover from a stall, though, and that's what we were trying to do. Actually, that last plane I was using recovered from stalls pretty well. That was like easy to control. Oh my gosh, chaos. No. Yeah, Sarah, the water does look pretty realistic as you get closer. Alright, so what do you guys think of this game so far? What are your ratings? Graphics, gameplay, smoothness, coolness? For graphics, I'd have to say 8 out of 10. I'm tempted to give it 9 out of 10. It certainly cannot be a 10 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because this is a feat of graphical engineering, to be quite honest. This is amazing what they've been able to do. It's groundbreaking. I mean, games in the future will absolutely do what Microsoft did here to make games look realistic and as far as geography goes and buildings and things like that. This plane is not reactionary. It is not like the other ones. It is not sensitive. Like, it's hard to control as well as all the other ones are, but it is not responsive to my commands. So no barrel rolls. So we're in LA now, flying around near Hollywood. So yes, this is a feat of graphical engineering. I have to give it at least an 8 because of that. I want to give it a 9, but not yet, because there are certainly some things they have to fix. So piers going into the water is not right. The Washington Monument is not right. So like tourist hotspots, they certainly didn't take care to make sure that those look exactly right. You know, the Capitol was all messed up. Geography, though, is amazing. Lakes, mountains, the trees, all that kind of stuff. So here's LA International Airport, LAX, we're flying towards at the moment. We can fly back towards Hollywood too in a bit. As far as coolness goes, I give this a 10 out of 10. This is a super cool game, and I feel like there is a lot more room for people who really enjoy these flight simulators to do a lot of different things with this. I mean, you can go really far as like game setup and stuff like that. I will increase the graphics rating if they can fix some of the landmarks. It can't be 10 out of 10 yet though, but if they can get all the landmarks right and fix things like the piers, maybe give some motion to the water, then I think this game has a potential for a 10 out of 10 graphics. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it in this iteration. I have no idea how many changes that takes to do. Like, it might just be too many more gigabytes to download, if you know what I mean. So this is the biggest plane we've flown yet, and it is also difficult, but in a different kind of way. The other planes were much more responsive to my like pitching and rolling and things like that. This is very slow, and it's almost like I click to turn left and like almost 10 seconds later, it's finally turning left. So you have to anticipate everything ahead of time. Overall, I'd say the game is a 9 out of 10 right now. They definitely have thought of everything. And I think this game is groundbreaking. I think they've discovered a lot with the mechanics of this game and with physics, with geo-mapping, that's going to make future games look a lot better. And we'll probably look back on this one day and be like, oh my gosh, look how raggedy the landscape looks. And like, why are the landmarks so funky? They don't look like what they're supposed to look like. Yet at the same time, like, this is baby technology, what they've done with this. This is the first iteration of it, like a rough draft. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I think this was definitely money well spent. And I could definitely play this for hours. There's different challenges you can do. Oh, I'm going to turn hard. Oh, there we go. I saved it. Okay. I want to fly towards Hollywood and see if the Hollywood sign is even there. I don't know why I'm turning so hard right now. It's not what I'm trying to do. Or turning so hard left. Okay, the plane is starting to get a little difficult to control. Like, it keeps turning super hard directions I don't want it to be turning. I need to get it straight. Whoa. Why it's doing that, I have no idea. Obviously, I am not a plane enthusiast, or I would know why the plane does what it's doing. Because I think they took a lot of care to make sure the physics was correct and everything. I cannot get the plane to fly straight. I'm trying, but it is just... I would be making all these passengers inside so sick. Oh my gosh. I believe I'm flying towards Hollywood. I think Hollywood's going to be up here on the right. And I just don't know if the sign... it's definitely going to be up here on the right. I just don't know if the sign is actually going to be there. That's another landmark to look out for. I don't see the Hollywood sign. Yeah, I don't see the Hollywood sign. Do you guys? Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna try a stall with this plane, because this plane is a lot harder to control with stalls, I can tell, than the last plane. I just need to get it to go straight. There we go. That's kind of good, I guess. Maybe if I turn down the speed it'll be easier? I have no idea. Oh. There's two different engines. I could adjust the speed on each engine, I'm sure. Okay. I cannot get the plane to fly straight. So I'm just going to go for the stall even though it's not flying straight. I'm going to get it kind of straight and then I'm going to go up. All right, here we go. Let's go in the cockpit. There we go. Okay. Up. And we want to turn the throttle all the way up. And we want to go at too steep of an incline. And then try and recover from a stall. Here we go. I don't know when it's going to stall, but I feel like I'm doing a flip now. Okay, I think I'm in the stall. Yep, I'm in the stall. Okay, so turn down the throttle. Okay. Increase the throttle again. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, oh, we're gonna stall again. Okay, turn down the throttle. Okay. There we go. I think I got it. All right. Yes, that stall was more challenging than the last plane. The last plane almost like would correct itself. I think just because of the airflow. So getting out of this stall was a little bit more challenging, but there I did it. So cool. I'm gonna have to learn more tricks. There's definitely more problems that can happen when you're flying. I'm sure it's got things in this game it'll throw your way. So I'll learn about that, maybe stream this in the future. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will catch you all